Okay, good morning everyone. Today we're gonna go through a set of prelim papers, so let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. Okay, question 1. John cut out a quarter circle with a radius of 10 cm from a piece of rectangular paper as shown below. What is the parameter of the shaded part? Okay, so we're gonna find the parameter of the shaded part. First of all, we need to find this part here, and we know that this part here will be 10 plus 6, which is 16. Okay, so the part where I will need to find the quarter circle will be 1/4 times pi times d. The diameter will be 20. Okay, this will be equal to 3.14 times 20. Okay, 15.7. Okay, 15.7 is this red line, and then after that I need to add 15.7 plus 16 plus 10 plus 6, which is another 16. This will give me the answer. Okay, or 47.7 cm. Question 2. The table shows the number of pupils with the following scores. Okay, so the table shows the scores and the number of pupils. What was the average score of all the pupils? Okay, so in this case, we need to find what is the total score first. I'm gonna write down the total score. 3 times 11 will be 33. 1 times 12 is 12. 0 times 13 is 0. 14 times 2 is 28. 15 times 4 will be 60. Okay, so to find the average score, I need to first find the total score. 33 plus 12 plus 28 plus 60. Okay, divided by the total number of pupils, which is 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4. Okay, let me simplify it first. Okay, 133 divided by 10 will be 13.3. Question 3. Mrs. Lim bought some beads for Jessica and Karen. For every 8 beads Jessica took, Karen took 5. In the end, Jessica had 260 more beads than Karen. How many beads did Mrs. Lim buy? Okay, so this sentence over here, for every 8 beads Jessica took, Karen took 5, basically tells you their ratio. Okay, the ratio of the number of beads of J is to K will be 8 is to 5. Okay, in the end, Jessica had 216 more beads than Karen, which means that you know that the extra, which is 3 units, okay, will be equal to 216. We're gonna find what is 1 unit. And then after that, how many bits did Mrs. Lim buy, which is 13 units. We're gonna find what is 13 units. $936. Okay, question 4, I think is already done because yep, we're gonna skip this question. Let's move on to question 5. At the carnival, 80% of the muffins were sold at full price, and the remaining 60 muffins, okay, were sold at half price. The total amount of money collected from the sale of the muffins was $864. What was the full price of a muffin? Okay, so the first thing that we want to find out is how many muffins are there altogether. Okay, if 80% of the muffins were sold at full price and the remaining 60 muffins, so the remaining is 20%, right? Okay, 20% is equals to 60, which means that let me find what is 80%. Okay, 80% would be 60 times 4, which is 240 muffins. Okay, and then since 60 muffins were sold at half price, so the 60 muffins which is sold at half price is equal to 30 muffins sold at usual price, right? Okay, which means that effectively the total number of muffins sold at full price is 270. Okay, what is the full price of a muffin? Which means that we need to use $864 divided by 270. It's gonna be $3.20. Question 6. Amy had $24.80 more than Betty at first. After Betty gave $14.20 to Amy, Amy had 3 times as much money as Betty in the end. How much did Betty have at first? Okay, so this is a transfer type of question. We're gonna draw a simple model. So Amy. Okay, I do not know how big or how small 2480 is. Let me just draw a random block. Betty is gonna be like this. Okay, after Betty gave $14.20, I'm gonna draw out a block. Okay, this is the 1420. It's gonna be transferred over here. 1420. Okay, Amy had 3 times as much money as Betty, which means that now the comparison point will be here. Okay, and here to here is 2 units. Okay, now we know that 2 units is equals to $24.80 plus 1420 plus 1420. Okay, 24.8 plus 14.2. 14.2 is $53.20, which means that let us find what is 1 unit first. $26.60. How much did Betty have at first? Which means that this is the 1 unit. So what she have at first will be $26.60 plus 14.20. Okay, $40.80. Question 7. In the figure, AED and EBF, okay, are straight lines. BCDE is a parallelogram. Okay, I need to find what is angle Y. Let's see what I can find. I can find this, which is 54, 78. Okay, which means that I can find this. Okay, let's do it in steps. I can find this angle here first, which is 180 minus 78 minus 54, right? Okay, but if you know the shortcut, after that you need to use 180 minus this to get the outside, right? Which basically means that this angle outside is 78 plus 54. Okay, 132 is angle AEB. Try to squeeze it here. 132. Okay, so to find angle Y, I just need to use 180 minus 132 minus 35. Okay, the answer is 13 degree. Question 8. Shirt costs $8N. A tie costs half as much as the shirt. Part A, Mr. Tan bought 6 identical ties and 1 shirt. How much money did he spend in terms of N? Okay, so shirt is equals to 8N. Okay, a tie costs half as much, which means that it is 4N. Okay, Mr. Tan bought 6 identical ties, so this is 1 tie, which means that 6 ties is basically 6 times 4, which is 24N. Okay, and 1 shirt. How much money did he spend altogether, which means that he spent 24N plus 8N, which is 32N. Dollars. Okay, part B. Mr. Tan spent $256 on 6 ties and 1 shirt. Find the value of N. Okay, which means that this $32N is equals to 256. Which means that to find N, we just need to use 256 divided by 32. 256 divided by 32 will give me 8. Okay, question 9. The line graph shows the number of books borrowed from a library from Monday to Friday. Okay, let us write down the number first. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each one is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? 2, 4. So this is, we write it in red color. This is 54. This is 74. I hope I get it correct. This is 36. 6, and this is 60. And for Friday it is 72. Okay, part A, which one day period was there the biggest change in the number of books borrowed? Okay, it's got to be these two. Okay, so for part A, it will be Tuesday to Wednesday. Tuesday to Wednesday. Part B, which were the 2 days when the ratio of the number of books borrowed were 3:4. Okay, which 2 days when the ratio of number of books is 3:4? We got to try and find it. Is it 54 is to 72? Yep. Okay, it is 54 to 72. Simplest form will give you 3:4. Okay, this is Monday, and this is Friday. Monday and Friday. Okay, question 10 is a speed distance time question which is not tested in this year's PSLE, but I'm still gonna go through it. Eddie and his sister walked from home to school. His sister started walking at 8 AM at an average speed of 15 meters per minute. Eddie started walking at 8:05 AM at a speed of 60 meters per minute. Eddie caught up with his sister at midpoint between the school and home. Find the distance between Eddie's home and school. Alright, so the first thing we need to find is, okay, how far ahead is the sister? Right, so since the sister walked for 5 minutes, so number one, we're gonna use the sister's speed, 50 meters per minute, okay, multiply by 5 minutes. This is gonna give me 250 meters. Okay, so this is the distance that the sister is ahead of Eddie. Now to find out the time taken for Eddie to catch up, time to catch up, okay, will be the distance between them divided by the difference in their speed. 60 minus 50. Okay, this will be 25 minutes. Okay, which means that Eddie will be walking for another 25 minutes before he can catch up to his sister. Okay, so we're gonna find out like what is the distance of the midpoint. Okay, the midpoint will be since Eddie's been walking for 25 minutes, so I'm gonna use his speed multiplied by 25. Which is 1,500 meters. So the question wants me to find the distance between Eddie's home and the school. Okay, which will be 1,500 times 2, which is 3,000 meters. Question 11 is a pie chart question. Again, it is not tested this year due to the COVID situation, but I'm still gonna go through it. Okay, the pie chart shows the different types of fruits in a shop. There was an equal number of fruits and grapes, so we can treat grapes and apples, sorry. There's an equal number of grapes and apples, so we can treat this as 1 unit, 1 unit. There were 16 more mangoes than grapes, so we can treat mangoes as a 1 unit plus 16. Okay, altogether there are 200 fruits altogether. Okay, what was the total number of mangoes plus grapes plus apples? So we can see that here to here is 35 plus 12, right, which is 47%. Okay, which means that here to here is 100 minus 47, which will give you 53%. Okay, so we just need to find what is 53%. If there are 200 fruits altogether, we're just going to use 53 over 100 times 200. So 1 cancel 2, 53 times 2 is 106. Okay, so the answer for part A is 106. For part B, how many apples were there? Okay, so we know that now 3 unit plus 16 is equals to 106. So 3 units is equals to 106 minus 16, which is 90. Okay, 1 unit is equal to 30, and 1 unit is equal to the number of apples. Question 12. The ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in group A was 4:1. The ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in group B was 2:3. There were twice as many children in group A as group B. What was the ratio of the number of boys in group A to the number of boys in group B? Okay, let us write down the ratio first. So for group A, okay, boys is to girls is 4:1. For group B, boys is to girls is 2:3. Okay, since there are twice as many children in group A as in group B, right? So we're gonna find out what is the total first. So for this case, the total units will be 5 units. Okay, total is also equal to 5 units. So since this is twice, right? Okay, what I'll need to do is I'll need to multiply by 2 to this whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna multiply by 2. So it's gonna give me 8:2. Okay, so that the total now will be 10 units, and it will be as according to the statement over here. So what's the ratio of the number of boys in group A to the number of boys in group B? That will be 8:2. Let me write down like the boys in A is to the boys in B. Z:2, simplest form is 4:1. Okay, part B, 10 boys and 10 girls left group B. Okay, the ratio of the number of boys in group B to the number of girls in group B became 2:1. How many children were there in group A? Okay, so we just do this. Okay, so 10 boys and 10 girls left group B. Okay, in the end, the ratio of the number of boys in B to the girls is 1:2. Okay, so this is a constant difference type of question, because the total that left is 10 and 10, And you notice that from here to here there's a drop of 1 unit, and from here to here there's a drop of 1 unit also. Okay, which means that 1 unit is equals to 10. And if you want to find out how many children were there in group A, in group A there is 10 units. Okay, so we need to find what is 10 units, which is equal to 100. Okay, so the answer for part B is 100. Question 13. The figure shows an empty flower vase of height 20 cm. It's made up of 2 containers. The top container is in the form of a cuboid which has a square base of 3 cm and a height of 12 cm. The bottom container is in the form of a cuboid, okay, measuring 15 by 9 by 8. Okay, 1 and 1/8 liter of water is poured into the empty vase. Find the height of water level from the base of the vase. Okay, first I'm going to convert the 1 and 1/8 liters into cubic cm. So if you know how to do your conversion, this is basically 1125 cubic cm. Okay, next I'm gonna find what's the volume of the bottom cuboid. So 15 times 9 times 8. It is 1080. Okay, so I'm gonna subtract 1125 minus 1080 to find out how much the volume of water that flowed into the cuboid on top, which is 45. Okay, so to find the height of the water in the cuboid above, we need to use the volume of water, okay, divided by the base area. Okay, the base area will be 3 times 3, which will give you a 9. So 45 divided by 9 will give you a 5 cm. So the height of the water level from the base would be 8 plus 5. Okay, that will be 13 cm. Question 14. Joyce had some money. She bought a dress, a shirt, and a watch. She spent 1/5 of her money on the shirt. The shirt cost $24 less than the dress. The watch cost $102. She was left with a quarter of the amount of money she had at first. How much money did Joyce have at first? Okay, we can try to draw a model. Okay, this would be the total amount of money that she had at first. So since she spent 1/5 of her money on a shirt, I'm gonna cut this into 5 parts. Okay, 1/5 of her money on a shirt. Okay, the shirt cost $24 less than the dress, which means that if I were to draw the dress here, I do not know where is it gonna be. Maybe I can let's say this is the dress, and let's say this is the, let me make it a bit smaller. Let's say this part here is the watch. Okay, it means that the amount of money that she's left with will be, okay, a quarter of what she had at first. Okay, so this doesn't look like it is a quarter, and it is going to be very difficult to find what is a quarter of 5 units. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 5 units to become like a multiple of 4. So I'm going to multiply everything by 4 units, 4 units. Okay, which means that the amount of money that Joyce had at first is 20 units, and the shirt is equals to 4 units. Okay, so I'm gonna write it in unit form now. Shirt is equals to 4 units. Okay, the shirt costs $24 less than the dress, which means that the dress will be 4 units plus 24. Okay, the watch is $102. And she is left with a quarter of the amount of money that she had at first. So if you know what is a quarter of 20 units, it's basically 5 units. Okay, so she's left with 5 units. So how much money did Joyce have at first? Okay, so we know that 20 unit minus away the 4 units, 4 units, and 5 units minus 4 unit minus 4 unit minus 5 units is equals to 7 units. Okay, so 7 units is equals to 102 plus 24. So we can find what is 1 unit, which is 18. Okay, and then we can find what is 20 units, because 20 units is how much money Joyce have at first. Okay, the answer is $360. Question 15. Box A contained only 50-cent coins, while box B contained only 20-cent coins. Okay, box B has 60 more coins than box A, but the value of all the coins in box A is $4.50 more than the value of all the coins in box B. Find the amount of money in box A. Okay, we know that box B has got 60 more coins than box A, right? Okay, but box A contains only 50-cent coins, and box B contains 20-cent coins. If I were to remove away these 60 coins from box A, okay, the number of coins that they have will be the same, which means that the ratio of the amount of money in box A is to box B will become 5:2. Okay, so I'm going to draw a model that represents the amount of money that they have when they are equal. So the model of amount of money, okay, when equal number. So box A, which is 50-cent coins, will have 5 units. Okay, and box B, which is the 20-cent coins, will have 2 units. Okay, but remember at first, okay, box B had 60 more coins than box A. So how much money did I remove at first? Let me calculate 60 20-cent coins is equals to $12. Okay, so there is a but the value of all the coins in box A is 450 more than that, right? So I removed the $12, which can be represented by here to here. I do not know how long or how short it is. $12. And there is another okay, 450 here. Okay, which means that I know that the 3 units over here is equals to $12 plus 450. $16.50. I can find what is 1 unit. And they want us to find the amount of money in box A. Okay, 5 units will be $27.50. Okay, question 16. The figure shown below, a PQ, where's Q? PQRS is a trapezium. ES is parallel to VR. So PS is parallel to VR, and VR is equal to QR. PS E is a straight line. Okay, I need to find what is angle E and angle F. Okay, first of all, I can find what is this angle here. This angle here is 76. Okay, because these two lines are parallel to each other. Okay, so if angle VPU is 76, I can find what is angle E. Basically, angle E is 76 plus 10. Okay, using exterior angle of a triangle, will be 86 degree. Okay, so next I need to find angle F. Okay, since VPU is 76, I also know that this angle over here is also 76. Okay, because of corresponding angles. So looking at isosceles triangle VQR, I know that angle F is equals to 180 minus 76 minus 76. Okay, angle F is 28 degree. Question 17, a figure is drawn on a square piece of paper with length 40 cm as shown below. Its outline consists of two identical large quarter circles. Okay, so I think these two are the large identical circles. One smaller quarter circle, which is this. One semicircle, which is this. And three straight lines. I think it is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the length of AB is 4 cm. What is the area of the figure? Okay, I can move this part, this circle into here. Okay, which means that if I were to find the area of a square, let me maybe color this. This plus this is highlight the whole thing. It's the area of a square. Okay, so what I need to find is I just need to find here plus this. Okay, so area of the square, we can find it last. Let us find the area of the semicircle first. So this will be half times pi times the radius is 10 square. Okay, so it will be 314 divided by 2, which is 157. So this is 157. And now I'm gonna find this part here. This part here, I need to find this quarter circle first. Quarter circle will be 1/4 times pi times the radius will be 20 minus 4, which is 16 square. 3.14 times 16 square divided by 4, that will be 200.96. Okay, then after that I need to use 10 square minus 200. Wait, it's not 10 square, it is 20 square. 200.96. Okay, 199.04 is this part here. Okay, so now I just need to add them together. 199.04 plus 157 plus another 20 square. Okay, because here to here is 20 plus 157 plus 20 square, which is 756.04 square cm. Okay, this is the answer for part A. Okay, for part B, what is the parameter? It is a bit messy now, so I'm gonna erase everything. Parameter of the figure. Okay, so this plus this is the parameter of a big semicircle, and then I need to plus this smaller semicircle, and then I need to plus this, the smaller quarter circle, and then the yellow lines, which is this, and this here. Okay, this is 20. Let me just write it down here first. Let us find out what is the red line first. It will be half times pi times d. Okay, then next I'm gonna find the blue semicircle, which is half times pi times 20. $31.4. Okay, so now I can proceed on to okay, still got the green one. The green one I'm still gonna continue with using blue color. A quarter times 3.14 times since the radius of it is 16, that means the diameter is 32. Okay, 3.14 times 32 divided by 4, 25.12. Okay, I don't think I missed out anything. So 62.8 plus 31.4 plus 25.12. Okay, the total of the yellow parts will be 28. That should cover the parameter. 62.8 plus 31.4 plus 25.12 plus 28, which will give you 147.32 cm. Okay, so this is the parameter of the figure is 147.32 cm.